It's funny. It's funny that I've been doing these episode reviews for probably 3 months now. It's been 3 months since I started. So, hello everyone, Mega Man NG here, and welcome to my Ace Attorney anime review for episode 13, which also serves to conclude the first half of the anime. This episode is very special. Very special because it's basically exclusive to the anime, and we hardly ever see it in the games. The episode Turnabout Promise. Basically, it's a flashback, but a very special flashback that details young Phoenix Wright, young Miles Edgeworth, and young Larry Butts on how they first met and how they became friends. And it also showed the classroom trial as well, how Phoenix Wright was accused of stealing lunch money from all the students, and Edgeworth defended him. Not to mention Larry did too, and it was from that classroom trial that their friendship was born. And seeing all three of them get along after that was just rather emotional. It really was. I really enjoyed watching it. So much so that I watched it twice. Because this episode is a flashback. Yeah, it is a flashback, but it also cements how they became friends in the first place. And the tragedy of DL6 that would soon follow that would drift them apart. However, in this case in the anime, even if the three were apart, they were always friends no matter what. This episode also emphasizes the keychains. The keychain that Phoenix Wright has serves as a plot point. It basically symbolized the friendship they had. Phoenix Wright had a blue keychain, Edgeworth had red, and Larry had yellow. And they all were based off something called the Signal Samurai. And yeah, it's basically like Steel Samurai, because every time the Ace Attorney, there's always going to be a Steel Samurai involvement. I hardly isn't complaining, but I feel that is a good thing. This episode also shows us Gregory Edgeworth in the flashback. Yes, he only appeared for a few minutes, and being the loving father he is, it was kind of nice. And we also see Manfred von Karma. However, the biggest moment came when we also get our first look at a character that we're going to be seeing very soon. That's right. Franziska von Karma, Manfred von Karma's daughter. In the flashback, she makes an appearance, and I gotta admit, she was kind of cute. And this is before she decides to replace her cuteness with a nasty whip that we're going to be seeing pretty soon in the second half of the anime. Now, to be fair, I really did enjoy it. I really did enjoy this flashback sequence detailing all the events that happened. It was very nice. It was really nice and the pacing for it was actually pretty good. There was some very strong pacing, and it just kept going through, and we actually see the three interact and befriend. And even when Edgeworth was moving away, Phoenix and Larry wasn't going to give up. Phoenix especially, because to Phoenix, Edgeworth was like important to him. He was so important that he was determined to find him, which could explain all his motivations that occurred in the games, especially like in stuff like Turnabout Goodbyes, as well as the first game itself, on how Phoenix Wright was determined to save his friend, especially in Turnabout Goodbyes. Yeah, I already said that, but I can't get enough of the episode so much that it was very good. Also, since the game is following the original Japanese Ace Attorney games, there is no Rise from the Ashes. I am disappointed that we're not going to get a Rise from the Ashes adaptation, but I can't count A1 Pictures out, because if there is going to be one, I wish for it to be like an OVA, because Rise from the Ashes is just like ridiculous. So ridiculous, in fact, that it would fit like several OVAs. Not to mention it added a few more things to the game and explained why Edgeworth did what he did. Although in the anime right here, Edgeworth just up and left without any explanation, and leaving the letter, Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. What does it mean? I do know one thing, that it's going to be playing a role in the second half of the anime, aka the adaptation for Justice for All. Overall, the first half of the Ace Attorney anime has gotten pretty good. It had some ups and downs, it had some pacing issues, it took liberties of changing things around and making it good, and I will commend A1 Pictures for at least trying, because for a 22-minute anime, what can you do? For 22-minute episodes, what can they do? They gotta do what they can. If they wanted to, they could just make it like an hour long and provide a lot more. but that wouldn't be pleasing people in the slightest. I don't really know for sure. What I can say is that for the first half, I would give it a watch. I would give the first half a watch because, sure, there are some problems here and there with some pacing issues, some things missing that weren't in the games, but they tried. I'm gonna commend them for it. They tried and they did pretty good. I will give them credit that I hope that the second half they will not let us down. And speaking of which, next week's episode begins Justice for All, but with a twist. The twist is that in the Justice for All games, you start with the Lost Turnabout instead of Reunion and Turnabout. So in the anime, they're going to go by chronologically, which means that we're going to be seeing Case 2 first and then Case 1. Or maybe that they're going to skip Case 1 altogether and just go straight for Case 3. Because Case 2 is Case 1's probably minor at best. All it is just a tutorial, just like the first Turnabout. So, what do you guys think of the episode? Was it good? Was it bad? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Please let me know in the comments what you think of it. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me. It really does mean a lot to me as I've been doing these reviews for more than 3 months. Yeah, it's been 3 months since I started this, and I'm going to continue it on with more until the end. And hopefully, if the anime actually does well, we may see a second season where it'll cover trials and tribulations. I hope they do cover trials and tribulations because that's going to be crazy. It's going to be intense, it's going to be emotional, and it's going to provide like some closure for the entire trilogy. Who knows? Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week, I will be reviewing episode 14 and the start of the second half of the Ace Attorney anime with the adaptation of Justice for All, with Reunion and Turnabout, aka Case 2. Since Case 2 takes place 2 months before Case 1. Makes sense, right? Anyway, that's it. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out. See you next week. And one other thing. There is something I should mention. Yes, I got my hands on Mighty Number 9. Starting tomorrow, I will be doing a playthrough of it. But I am going to be judging the game based on my own merits. So, be on the lookout for that. Later.